Hi, welcome back to Easy with Perfect Eating, where dieting is dumb, moderation is key, and learning to eat some pizza without eating all of the pizza has taken the place of the all or nothing mindset. I'm your host, Jacqueline. So today we have a meals question. Let's jump right in. And it is, should I do another Whole30 and then figure out moderation? So let me do something really restrictive and then I'll figure out how to eat for the rest of my life. And I get it. I've done that and said that before. I was like, cool, I will do Whole30 and then I'll figure it out. Or I will do low carb and then I'll figure out moderation. Or I will count calories and then figure out moderation. And what I found is this expectation that life is somehow going to go perfectly and you're going to be able to be super, super disciplined and super restrictive for a certain amount of period of time. It never actually works out. Something in life is going to pop up. Your kids are going to get sick. Someone's going to be late. You're going to forget to meal prep. You're going to go on vacation, or someone's going to bring donuts to the office. We think that we're going to have this like perfect 30 or perfect 60 or perfect 90 or 180, whatever amount of days in order to eat perfectly. And then we'll figure out life. And what happens is that does never actually happen. There's never going to be a period in life where everything is just cool and calm. There's always going to be something, and that's life. We actually have to figure out how to eat when all of those things are happening. We can't just expect that we're just going to be able to eat perfectly. It's never going to work. You have tried this before, and any diet out there is just, it's a different plan, but it's the same thing, right? So maybe you're tracking macros, or you are counting calories, or you're cutting a food group out. There's a hyper obsession about food instead of like, cool, how can I just take care of my body and handle stress, right? So with imperfect eating, I am teaching you how to eat for the rest of your life. It is going to take longer. It is not going to be this quick fix where you magically drop 25 pounds in a 30-day period. When that happens to people, remember, you've done that in the past. You can just not eat carbs for 30 days, drop weight fast, but on day 31, 32, 33, that's where the binging happens. I see it time and time again. People doing keto and then not knowing how to go to a birthday party and eating all of the carbs, right? So instead of being super restrictive for 30 days, let's figure out how you're going to eat for the rest of your life. It's going to take some time. You're going to mess up. Let's jump in. So what to do instead? Approach every meal with the 5 Ps of like, cool, I'm at my work and they catered food for us. Great. How can I build a plate that incorporates the 5 Ps? So plants, protein, a little bit of processed fun food, plenty of water, and put it on a plate. How can I approach this, right? So that's going to take some time to figure out. And you might find like, oh shoot, my work caters food every Friday and they only get pizza. I need to bring a salad so that I can enjoy the pizza and feel good. So there's going to be some troubleshooting that has to happen. It's not going to go perfectly, okay? And that brings us to number 2. Expect imperfection. You're going to mess this up. There's going to be a time that someone caters food. You don't have any plants or protein. You overeat the pizza. You feel like shit. You feel gross. And then you're like, cool, I don't like feeling gross. I don't like feeling like shit from food. The next time that they order pizza, I'm still allowed to have some, but I'm going to bring some food so I actually feel good. You are going to mess up. When kids are learning how to read, or they're learning how to play the piano, or whatever it is that they're learning how to do, we don't demonize when they make a mistake. We don't say, see, this wasn't for you. We don't say, if you're not perfect from the beginning, you're never going to be able to do this. But for some reason, when it comes to adults and us learning how to do something, or us learning how to eat, we think that if we've messed up, that it is evidence that we are fundamentally flawed, or that we have a food addiction, that we can't be around these foods. I did it too. We think this. If we are imperfect, we're an F up. But that's not true. When you're learning to do something new, you're going to mess up, and then you use those mistakes, those mess ups, as teachable moments of like, cool, what can I learn from this? What do I need to do for the next time this happens, right? So expect imperfection. You are going to mess this up. Imperfect eating is not just about eating imperfect foods, but it is about having an imperfect journey and not letting that deter you. That being like, okay, cool, that didn't go well. Here's what I'm going to do instead the next time. Okay. The next thing that I want you to start doing is start practicing the thoughts and beliefs of the person that you want to be. When you're doing Whole30 and you're doing keto and you're counting macros, I bet you your thoughts and beliefs are, I have to be hyper obsessed about food. If I'm not hyper obsessed, then I binge. Guess what you get? You get that yo-yoing effect with food happening. Your thoughts and beliefs will dictate the actions that you are taking with food. Okay. So do you want to be the hyper obsessed person? Probably not. You've been spending years and decades doing that. Maybe the thoughts and beliefs that you actually want to be having are like, cool, I can be at ease around food. I don't have to think about food 24/7. I can just trust myself. Those are the thoughts and beliefs that you want to start practicing. Okay? Your thoughts and beliefs will fuel the actions you take. So if you practice these thoughts of like, I can trust myself, I'm at this happy hour and I can trust myself. I'm going to put some food on a plate and I can trust myself. And you're practicing those things, you will start to create evidence that you are this person. It's going to take time. You're going to mess up. But if you really want that to be your life, you're going to start practicing creating evidence that you are that person. And the last thing is give yourself time. Oh my goodness, give yourself time. Consistency over time will produce the results that you want. This does not happen in 30 days. You don't change your relationship with food in 30 days. It doesn't happen in 60 days. Give it 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. That's so not sexy. And that's so like, it's hard to market this to people. Like, cool. Give me 18 months and I'll change your relationship with food. Here's the sexy thing. Give me 30 days and I'll change your relationship with food, right? Which one is highly marketable? Which one is big, quick sales, right? It's not fun to say this is going to be a slow process, but the truth of the matter is you've been doing something for years, possibly even decades, and that doesn't get changed in 30 days because it's not just about the food. It doesn't just start with the food. Your thoughts and beliefs are going to dictate the actions that you take. You're going to have to do a lot of unpacking, a lot of realizing like, holy shit, like this shit started when I was little. I was using food as a way to soothe. This is going to take some time to unpack these thoughts and beliefs and actions that you've been doing for decades. And it's going to take some time to carve out a new path of different actions that you take and a new mindset loop. You've been in this mindset loop for 30 years. It's going to take some time to unpack that and start to create the life that you actually want to live. How long is that going to take? I don't know. It depends. Like, how much time are you going to devote to this? Are you going to take, the things that we've been talking about in these videos and put this into practice? Because it's not just about watching the videos and then being like, oh, maybe that'll work or maybe it won't work, but it does take some time. So this is intentional. Imperfect eating is not like, cool, like eat whatever you want. There needs to be intentional practice. You don't just become a piano player by buying a piano and being like, oh, am I a piano player? No, it takes intentional practice. And that's the same thing with improving your relationship with food. Improving your relationship with food takes intentional practice. But the great thing is that the more you do it, the more automatic it becomes, and it's not something that you have to think about. It's just like learning to tie your shoes. When you are 4 years old, you have to ask your mom to tie your shoes constantly. That's the habit you're in. Then when you're in 5 and 6 years old, you're practicing tying your shoes, and you have scaffolding. You have like the bunny ears song. You have you're practicing it. Someone might be helping you, but by the time you're 8, 9, 10 years old, it's automatic. That habit is happening automatically. It's not something that you have to devote a lot of mental space, a lot of mental energy to doing. You just know how to do it. So if you approach your relationship with food with that mindset of like, okay, cool, I have some scaffolding. This is going to take some time to learn new habits, to learn new mindset loops. This is going to take some time, but expect that with that daily practice, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months from now, it doesn't take, this isn't even something that you need to be thinking about. It's just something that you do automatically. So give yourself some time. Again, approach meals with the 5 Ps, expect imperfection, practice the thoughts and beliefs you want, and give yourself time. Intentional practice over time. All right, guys, take care.